Right, welcome back. It's very unfortunate that I don't know what happened. My apologies. Facebook obviously was at it and cut off the video that I was making, and it was strictly for a very important position I want to clarify. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are listening. My name is Uche Mefor. And it is very important this morning from where I am that we need to appreciate one thing and of course advise ourselves accordingly. If we overdo things, then it is either going to be to our own advantage or to our own disadvantage. And I want to speak on a very, very important issue. Very, very important issue. And that issue is on the freedom of worship. Very important that I put a face to the post I made on my Facebook profile yesterday and early this morning. For those who are thinking that probably I am not conscious of what I'm doing, I am very much conscious, and I am coming from a very principled position that I believe is for the benefit of everyone in the Biafra Restoration Project. Very important that I speak up on this issue that has been raging on for quite some time, especially by the purveyors of religious discrimination, religious bigotry, religious politics. With respect to this Biafra Restoration Project, I want to reiterate that Biafra Restoration Project is anchored on principle of equality, equity, fairness, and social justice, and of course, strict observance to the rule of law, human rights, and fundamental freedom. These are the values that cut across board for the rest of humanity. Very, very important that we understand it. It is the value that we share and must guard and protect jealously. And I'm addressing religious bigots and purveyors of religious politics in this Biafra Restoration Project. That there is no need embarking on such, because it's not going to augur well for many people, including themselves. Men, women, and children have died because of this cause, and I am very much aware of it, and that is why we are doing what we are doing. I'm very much conscious and 100% committed to this cause. Knowing whom I am. I don't know that you know whom you are, but nobody should tell me who I am. Nobody, absolutely nobody, can tell me who I am and how I feel. Judge me by what I do in this restoration effort. Don't judge me by what you think that somebody told you or impression you have about me. Judge me by my actions, not by what a group of people think that I am, because you might be making a very, very grievous mistake. The principle of golden rule is what guides every civilized and egalitarian society and Biafran societies or communities hold dear to all this. Very important. And anytime we begin to deviate from it, you will see that the fabrics that hold our society together will begin to puncture and crumble. And God forbid that we will allow our enemies to put a knife into what has held us together. The heart of this restoration project must never be allowed to see corruption. It is an inalienable and sacrosanct obligation on our part. I have a role to play, you have a role to play, every other person have a role to play. Very important. And I want to go into the main issue here. Yesterday, when our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting, a number of individuals, they've been doing it for quite some time, started sending messages and videos. You're worshiping idol, you're worshiping European idol, you have to commit and focus and all that, all manner of nonsense. And I felt very much obliged, because I know that some of them are being sent to know what you are going to say. And so I have said what I need to say. And I maintain it. And you know what? There is nothing you can do about it. Because you know what? Ejimogu jidofo. Ejimofo. You don't encroach into what could be described as my territory, invading my space, because I don't invade your space. You have no right, no group of people have right to tell me how I will be communicating with my God. And I don't have rights, on the other hand, to tell you how you'll be communicating with your God. Very important, very, very important. But a group of people have taken it upon themselves to be lording it over others. They feel that they have the right, divine right, to tell you anything they want to tell you, to dictate for you, and to enforce whatever they are telling you. In turn, you have no right of response. And I have warned, I have appealed to our people to understand the importance of the era in which we are and the need for us to focus. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say, to be honest. Very, very important. I don't care what you think. But I am the same way we believe in saying the truth and saying it the way it is the same way I'm saying this. Biafra community, the Biafran population are made up of people from different divergent views and persuasions. And when it comes to religion, religious worship or religious inclination, we have atheists, we have Christians, we have Jewish, and we have other people. That a society grows, improves, and develops is that the inalienable principles and rights of man are respected and protected and guarded jealously. But when we begin to leave these principles, to begin to pursue a different ulterior motives or goals, then we will be seen to be deviating. I want to make it clear to a group of religious fanatics and religious bigots and those who have made themselves amenable to religious politics, that those paths that they are trading or towing is very, very dangerous for our collective survival. Because you cannot rightly identify that you have your right to do anything, but deny another person that right to do the same thing or something else that they want to do. For quite some time, like I said, a number of individuals have occupied our airwaves. They have occupied our media platforms. They are even gone as far as inboxing people on issue of religion and all that. We are not getting it right here. And I must say it without any equivocation and with every amount of conviction. If you don't have respect for people's views, people's spiritual inclination, people's religious views, then be sure to also not attract respect from such group of people. Biafran community is made up of 95% Christians. Let us tell ourselves the truth. And 5% others, whether you like it or not. Therefore, it is very wrong for any group of people to make Biafra restoration, to make religious politics the centerpiece of Biafra restoration project. I have said it once or twice and in different places that the most dangerous war you can fight is religious war or religious politics, because it will start from your own family. It will turn mother, daughter, son, husband, wife against one another. It is a very touchy issue and a personal issue. That's fine. There are people, a number of our religious leaders are doing anything they like. People must stand up to them. I have no issue with that. But when you begin to come personal and begin to castigate others, Christianity was brought not by our forefathers. Of course, we know that. But I grew up to see myself among the Christian community. And I can tell you that I have not lacked anything. It is not a disadvantage to me. Never. Not a disadvantage to me. And where I have issues, I always stand up to what I believe in. So nobody should tell me, no group of people should tell me how I'm going to go about worshiping my God. This is unacceptable. I don't know who is calling me. This is unacceptable. That we must not make this an object of contention. If you castigate my religious view, which of course I don't even espouse, if you castigate it, if you call me all manner of things, well, time shall come when I will begin to react. If Christians castigate other people, they should be sure to have response from such people. If other people castigate Christians unfairly and make it a point of duty and a hobby, let me put it that way, to be casting aspersion to the Christian population, they also have the right to respond. How is Biafra Resolution Project going to be when we start throwing mud on issue that does not matter? I know what is wrong with Christian religion. What is wrong with Christian religion is the mentality of people practicing that religion, not the religion itself. And therefore, it is important, very important, that I have heard messages from different quarters, from different people, that Christianity came from the Europeans and all that. I know it. And that is bad, it is this, it is, that is the bane of our progress and all that. I have got it, I have got the information, I mulled over it, I made up my mind. I know where the disadvantages are, I know where the disadvantages, where the advantages are and where the disadvantages are. But there is no perfect religion, let me put it that way. It is a personal thing between you and your God. And if we turn it the other way around, how about our own traditional religion? And for all of us who throw away the New Testament of the Bible and said it is from the Europeans and all that, then who wrote the Old Testament? Is it my father or my mother? Who wrote the Old Testament? So if we throw away the New Testament and then embrace the Old Testament, then we are still guilty of what we are accusing those who wrote the New Testament. Because we have not found our roots, to be honest. My father did not write the Bible. My mother did not write the Bible. But the Bible is, I must tell you, the encyclopedia of life. People may not know my view on philosophy of life, but I will tell you. For me, there are aspects of our traditional religion that are not okay. There are also aspects of traditional, a Christian religion that are inimical to progress. I made a decision to blend the two. Otherwise, I must be the greatest hypocrite or hypocrite. A decision is then left for other people to make. I have made mine. It is left for you people to make your own. But once you use your own, once you leave your own path, your own track, and get into another person's track, you condemn me that I'm not following the edicts of the Most High God, the commandments of God, that I'm worshiping idol, because that is the only thing that they tell you. The question I'm asking is, idol worshiping is one of the commandments of God. There are about 10 of them. What happens to the other 9? If some people find it very fashionable to tell you that you must adhere to Exodus 20, if people find it fashionable to always quote for you the issue of idol worshiping, which is one of the 10 commandments of God, what happens to the other 9? What happens to them? Because the Most High God instructed that you must obey these commandments. Why are we picking and choosing? Because if you fail in one, you have failed in all of them. If you fail in one, you have failed in all of them. And nobody is perfect. No group of people is perfect. And we should know this. We know it. Why are we then making it an object of discussion and the centerpiece of Biafra Refocusing project? Why? Because if you castigate me, I'm not a perfect human being. If you castigate me in one thing, probably I have impediment in one area. I also know that you also have impediment in other areas. How about my bringing up your own faults and weaknesses? And we'll flood it everywhere as part of Biafra Refocusing project. How is everything going to be? It's going to be anarchy and chaos. And so I try at all times to restrict myself. But there are a group of people who think that you are nobodies. And they can lord it over you. They can tell you anything they like. It is a distraction for Biafra Restoration Project. It is not what will move us forward. There are religious leaders who are keeping mute over the killings, the maiming of their members in that contraption called Nigeria. We call them out and tell them whom they are. I have been at the forefront as well of condemning these people. Recently, the Christian leaders were nowhere to be found when Boko Haram were massacring and beheading people. I made a conscious effort. I wrote the Catholic bishops of Nigeria. And I told them, if you don't do anything, at least protest, at least let the authorities know that you're not happy over what is happening. Then I will lead a protest, a campaign against you people. I tried it, I got response. They did what they did. But I still believe that it's not enough. So what is bad is bad. And we must all condemn what is bad. When we embark on discrimination, when we embark on politics of religion, then that is the problem. And I'm saying that it is not healthy for Biafra Refocusing project. You may accept it, you may not accept it, but it is up to you people to continue. But I've made my stance for avoidance of doubt. And I'm not hiding or making means of what I've said. That if you, from now onwards, if you castigate unfairly my religious views or worship, I have every right to respond to you. And any other person has the right to do so. We need to focus. We need to reevaluate. We need to reappraise of the journey so far. Very important. Very, very important that we must not derail. And for those who are quick in calling people saboteurs and all that, if you people are not saboteurs, how will you know that another person is? I have always said, let my record speak for me. But there are some dirty politics that people are playing. They will say, go and tell him this or tell them that, they will react. So that when they react, a number of them will say, this is, you're behaving like a child and all that. You're behaving like this and all that. I know about all these things. But I'm telling you that if you want me to behave like a child, or if you don't want me to behave like a child, then don't do childish things. Don't do it, because if you tread on that path, it's not going to lead to a very palatable conclusion. We must refocus. We must tell ourselves the truth. We must condemn evil. We must condemn what is not right, whether it's religious, whether it's political, whether it's economical and all that. But there are areas you don't delve into. People's private right of worship is a no-go area. It will be an issue if I am using or capitalizing on my religious inclination to victimize others. If I'm victimizing another person, I have made myself amenable, vulnerable to attacks and challenge. But if I don't do you anything and you go out of your way just to spite me, and you do it over and over and over and over, you think I will not say anything. Then I will say it. And I'm saying it. Let us advise ourselves. Biafra Restoration Project is based on the golden rule. If you know those things that you wouldn't like other people to do to you, don't do it to others. It is our collective responsibility to fight, to stand against religious bigotry and those who are embarking on religious politics to advance their cause. It is not right for us. It is not going to take us anywhere. And I want to be quoted that I maintain my total commitment to the cause for Biafra restoration, and that I will stand against anything that is not right. Whatever I do that is not right, confront me and prove me wrong. And so vice versa. Fulani headsmen are invading our places. We need to focus on that. The Nigerian authorities are taking advantage to sponsor terrorism against our people. We need to focus on that. There are some bad elements in IPOB. Whether they are agents from outside that infiltrated IPOB, who are going about unleashing mayhem on innocent people. We must stand up against these people. It is not our value. There are a group of people going about in Biafra land, doing all manner of nonsense. We need to stand up against these people meting out injustice on people that they have ganged up against, that they have blackmailed, that they have, I don't know, they have told lies against. We cannot pretend over all this. We cannot pretend over all this. There are individuals who use their position to victimize others. It cannot continue. There are a group of them before they victimize you. They will gang up. They will tell non-existent stories. They will lie against individuals. And they will cover their tracks. We must stand against it. We must stand against these people because we took an oath to protect one another. And we took an oath to say the truth at all times. There are individuals or groups in Biafra land especially. They are turning what we are doing upside down. They are beating up elderly people for whatever reason. They are framing up people for whatever reason. And they are getting away with it. You must not allow your voice to be drowned, especially when you have been treated in an unjust manner. I cannot be party to this injustice. There are people who have made themselves untouchable. I am aware of this. I don't want to say much on this, but I'm going to talk if I'm pushed to. Every effort must be made for us to refocus. We cannot bring Nigerian mentality, Nigerian culture into Biafra. Otherwise, it would have been no need of us doing what we are doing. But what about people who have died because of this cause? We must tell ourselves the truth. The principle of command and control must be maintained. But there are people who have turned it upside down. Very, very important that we know what the issues are. I need to speak. I have not spoken. If you push me to speak, if I'm pushed to speak, I will speak. Let us advise ourselves accordingly. Very important. This Biafra is for all of us. This Biafra is for everyone. This Biafra is for our generations of Biafrans to come. The foundation we lay is what the next generation coming after us is going to, of course, embrace. Religious bigotry politics is not going to take us anywhere. Gang ups, framing people, telling lies against people in order to take advantage or score some undue political points or personal points must be frowned at. Very important. There is nothing that is further from the truth. The world is watching and we must guard this Biafra Restoration project. very jealously and protectively too. Thank you very much, and God bless you.